Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dark Wolf's Den. I am your host, Dark Wolf. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I really appreciate it. We've been picking up a lot of new subs lately. I'd like to really thank everyone who has just joined the channel. It is really appreciated that you're here. I would like also to thank everyone who took the time to sit through the documentary that we did here. I know how slow it was. Trust me. I almost re-recorded it. I'm really glad I didn't. You guys have given me such a wonderful reception on that video. The point we were trying to make is that it's not memory. We were trying to rule out every single reason they try to throw it as for memory. And it's been one of the best videos I've done. It's still getting a lot of strong hits. I really thank everyone who shared it around, who's put the word out. Mr. Bill Bean himself actually dropped us a comment under there, and I'd like to thank Mr. Bill for acknowledging that and all the work that he does. He's an amazing guy, guys. We have shown his work on this channel more than once. The MandelaBibleChanges.com is his website. We have featured his website on this channel multiple times. He's a great guy, guys. If you don't know who he is, check him out. His name is Bill Bean. Wonderful Christian Bible scholar, exorcist, spiritual warrior. Great guy, and he's become a really good friend of this channel. So we're really lucky to have him aboard and have his support there, and we really appreciate all the work that he puts in, and everybody who has really shared that video and gotten the word out. It is so very appreciated, guys. You have no idea. I expected that to barely get 100 hits, and it's been very strong and steady every day. So I want to thank you guys so much for that. It has been very humbling. That aside, Moneybags put out a video the other day, and he was showing a lot of people, deniers, if you will, of the Mandela effect. And one guy, oh my goodness, I could not stop laughing. It was so hilarious. He tried to throw confabulation out again, and I haven't heard somebody do this in a while. So even though we covered it in the memory documentary, I would just like to reiterate why confabulation is horrible, because they only give half the definition when they beat us over head with this. So the part that they give us, and then we'll move down here real quick. So you guys remember that picture from the memory video? Confabulation, that was the first one we covered. So a memory error defined as production or fabricated or distorted or misinterpreted memories without the intention to deceive. So they stop they stop one more sentence later. People who confabulate present incorrect memories ranging from subtle to bizarre, and are generally very confident in their recollections. So this is what they use. And they don't go any further. They just beat us over the head with this part, but they neglect to put in the next part. Most known cases are usually symptomatic of brain damage, dementias, aneurysms, Alzheimer's, and Wernicke-Korsakoff disease, which comes from alcoholism. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't suddenly become an alcoholic, and I don't think we all suddenly did at once. Just saying. So this right here, guys, by its own definition proves that it cannot, absolutely cannot be confabulation. The Mandela effect is not confabulation, period. And I love laying this to rest over and over again. So I just wanted to cover that real quickly before we get started and reiterate, so many people see Moneybags' video. I just love to go back and remind people this is why, they don't give you the rest of the definition. This is why they try to beat us over the head with it, because they're so quick to jump as soon as they read the first part that they neglect to read the rest, I guess. They think, oh, we've got them. No, you've got nothing, guys. Try again. So it completely rules it out, at least in this channel's opinion. By its own definition, it rules it out. With that said, guys, unless you're this guy. Now, with him, It might just be confabulation, or he just might be, lying for political gain. Whatever the case may be. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump down the rabbit hole, guys, and start with this video because I think I may have found an alternate explanation to the entire Mandela effect. I know that's a really bold statement, right? When have I ever made a bold statement and not backed it up? Not on this channel. Alright, guys. So here we go. Check it out. This is Mandela Effect Theory Series number 18. Akashic Editing. So when we all first find the Mandela Effect, we start rambling through all these different ideas of what could be causing it, what could be going on. And one of the first ones we all come to is time travel. Now, for me, time travel was one of those good ideas for about 10 minutes, because once you look at the concepts of time travel and who would have a memory of the way things were before the travel occurred, only the time traveler themselves would hold that memory. Anybody else from the point of the change forward would not have an alternate memory. So time travel is quickly ruled out. So what can alter the history of anything at any given moment without the use of time travel? And this is a question that a lot of us have asked ourselves for quite a few years, because it just seems so obvious that it would be time travel. But what if there was another way? What if there was a way to alter the record of history? So one thing that has intrigued me long before the Mandela effect was the collective unconscious. And I've told the story many times on this channel how I really thought I was onto something and had made a groundbreaking discovery until I went to do the research and figure out that Carl Jung beat me to it by a couple decades. But it only proved that what I was witnessing and how I was explaining my own experiences was spot on with quite a popular idea, the idea of the collective unconscious. But it, of course, didn't lead to any actual answers. It looks like somebody just dropped a YouTube video. Yes, they did. All right. Anyway, moving along. So it didn't really lead to any answers, the collective unconscious. Then I ran across the Akashic record. And I'd run across this, quite a bit in the past and understood a little bit about it through the works of Edgar Cayce. No one has heard of Edgar Cayce. Check out the ARE Foundation. Edgar Cayce was known as the Sleeping Prophet, and in his trance-like state, almost dreamlike state, he could read the Akashic records and gave many medical cures that there's no way he could have known. He got no higher than a 9th grade education. Yet he would go into trance and get all this information from the Akashic records themselves. And they are a compendium of all human events, thoughts, words, emotions, and intent ever to have occurred in the past, present, or future. All events, thoughts, words, emotions, anything we do, anything we create, anything that is anything, it all has come from us, right? It's come from our thoughts, our emotions, our words, our intent. Everything to ever be created comes from these basic categories. So, if everything to be created comes from this, then this would be the record of everything. Well, what if the record itself was altered? That's kind of the basis of this theory. So what could alter it? You're probably thinking, fine and dandy. So as weird as this sounds, if you're humoring me still, I appreciate it. So what in the world could alter it? Well, I suggest D-Wave. The second video we ever did on this channel was the most popular theory at the time, one of the three most popular at the time, I guess, and it was D-Wave computers. But a lot of people wonder, why could D-Wave be behind it? Where are we getting this craziness about D-Wave? Well, how about we let the guy who created the thing to begin with tell us? Let's hear it right from the mouth of the horse. What do you guys say? Mr. Geordie Rose himself. Now, what I'm about to play, and a couple of clips I'm about to play, all of these come from 2013 and the talk he gave then. So imagine, guys, this is 2018, and everything we're about to hear comes from 2013. All right, so here we go. Check it out.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about quantum computers and why people care so much about them. They're not terrifically powerful yet, but they're doing something completely different than what your computer does. And that thing is like flight. It gives these computers access to these new resources, maybe you could call them parallel universes, in order to do something that you couldn't otherwise do. And that's not the only one. In fact, the one I'm going to come back to and talk to in the context of the story that I'm wrapping this in was recently installed at NASA. And Google was the primary interested party that pulled this whole thing together. And this one is really exciting to me, because what they're going to do is apply this machine to an area that I think is fundamentally important. It's the crux of our future as humans, and that's, can we build machines like us? So building machines like us might be possible. I certainly believe it is. I might be wrong. But what I do know is that the types of approaches that people are taking now to build intelligent machines benefit immensely from what this machine that we've built does best. So what this center is about is applying this beautiful new computational idea in the service of trying to make intelligent machines. Now, I can't think of anything personally any cooler than trying to use quantum computers to build intelligent machines, so this is very exciting to me.
Wait, did he just say quantum computers and artificial intelligence? So quantum computers running artificial intelligence to be a brain, not unlike ours. And consciousness is still questioned whether it comes from the brain or from consciousness, from the ether. Of course, we all know where I stand. I think it comes from the ether, but either way, that's quite disturbing. But wait, there's more. So in the same talk, he goes on to make 3 predictions, some of which have already come true. So I would like to go ahead and play those 3 predictions for you now, and you'll see pretty quick why they become really relevant.
Here's my first prediction. I'm going to predict that by 5 years, NASA will have found an Earth-like planet with Earth-like atmosphere and water on it, and serious people will start discussing how we get there. And by the way, they're going to use one of our machines to help do this. So that's my first prediction. My second prediction is that this business of parallel universes is going to turn out to be very important. This picture that I've got under here is what's called a gravitational lens. When Einstein proposed his general theory of relativity, it came with a bunch of experiments that you could use to test it. And one of them was that if there was a point of light very far away and a galaxy in the middle, that galaxy should bend the light and you should see a ring. And this was eventually observed. And I think what's going to happen is somebody is going to come up with an experiment to test this reality of these things. And we're going to be able to do so. My third prediction that I'm going to end on is the most important of all. I believe that humanity is on the cusp of the most important technological, societal revolution that's ever occurred. And that's when we got to the point where the machines that we build outpace us in every respect. I don't mean that they're better calculators. I don't mean that they're better at searching. I mean everything. And I think that we're very close. And my prediction is that within 15 years, we will have machines that outpace humans in everything. Thank you.
What is extremely intriguing about that is the first prediction has already come true. They found an Earth-like planet last year. So within 5 years of that recording, the first prediction came true. The second prediction is what really caught my eye. Talking about experiments to prove a new line of physics dealing with parallel dimensions. If this isn't what we've been saying for a while, then I don't know what is. This is the reason also a lot of people point to D-Wave as being the cause for the Mandela effect. Now, understand, a lot of this is theory and speculation and conjecture on my part. This is the theory series. I'm not saying this is fact. Jordy is. But seriously, I'm not saying anything in this video is 100% guaranteed fact. We know they lie. We all know that. A lot of this is theory. A lot of this is conjecture. With that said, I'd like to go ahead and tie all this together now. So we've heard what the D-Wave is going to be used for, or is being used for. We've heard Jordy's predictions for the future dealing with androids and quantum intelligence and things like that. So it looks like he's moved up the timeline for the third prediction he made. This comes in September 2018 is when this was published. Tech visionary Jordy Rose is wired to build robots. So his newest company is building robots. Looks like he's right in line to do exactly what he was saying. So how does this have to do with the Akashic record, though? So now let's tie it all together. What can alter the history of anything at any given time without the use of time travel? Akashic editing. It doesn't matter where you're at in the timeline, you can edit any other part of the timeline. So time travel isn't necessarily needed. I could start right now editing the past or the present. It's not like it started at a certain time. That's probably why we can't pin down an exact start for the Mandela effect. I couldn't put it any better than my buddy Jordy Rose put it right here.
Humans use tools to do things. If you give humans a new kind of tool that can do things that you couldn't otherwise do, imagine the possibilities.
So to sum it up, could D-Wave and CERN have capably built an android or some type of quantum learning machine that has found a way to not only read the Akashic records, but to alter and edit them, unlike we could with our consciousness? I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm by no means saying this is the end-all be-all. It does explain pretty much every aspect of the Mandela effect, but for those that say this feels kind of like a cop-out, maybe it is a little too easy, but then again, remember the motto of all inventors: keep it simple, stupid, kiss. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you share this video around, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and remember always, guys, stay awake, but dare to dream. Bye, everybody.
Humans use tools to do things. If you give humans a new kind of tool that can do things that you couldn't otherwise do, imagine the possibilities.